BeekeepingGroup.com.
Buying a home is one of the most important investment decisions you'll ever make, so it's best to insure your home for the full replacement value. If your home is underinsured, the condition of average could apply and reduce the amount you'll receive if you make a claim. Ask your insurance agent about underinsurance and condition of average before you purchase or renew your home insurance policy. For more information, visit www.icb.gov.bs. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas.
Welcome back to Union Money. I'm Carlton Smith. We're talking to representatives from the Bahamas Insurance Association today. They're celebrating 43 years of existence. That's a very, very long time. What do you have on the agenda for the remainder of this year? What are some of the concerns of the association that you feel you must urgently address this year?
Yeah, we have a number of issues we have to address this year, but just to piggyback on the point you made earlier about the legacy of the BIA, we have two persons we will be honoring this year with Lifetime Achievement Awards. And you know, there's a popular African adage that if we stand tall today, it's because we stand on the shoulders of many ancestors. Exactly. And so we salute them because we are inheritors of their legacy and the work that they have done. But going into 2018, we have we will continue to work with the government with respect to national health insurance to make sure the plan that is implemented is sustainable and also one that is responsible as well. The other thing we have to look at also is value-added tax. We have some challenges with that, and there's some potential, concerns. Some are real, some are potential, vis-a-vis claims and how they're settled, and the implications of VAT on those as well. But in the coming weeks, hopefully, we'll be talking more about that. Public education will be quite important for us as well this year. And we have also one big issue, big point coming. I don't want to call it an issue, a matter that we have to actually address in the coming months, and that is the proposed financial transactions reporting bill and the process of crime bill as well. It imposes obligations on external insurers and general insurers for a change. Historically, it's been just life insurance companies who were subject to the anti-money laundering and countering the financing of terrorism provisions of the FTRA and the Process of Crime Act. But now what is being proposed will actually increase the obligation, the ease of doing, it will complicate the ease of and cost of doing business, the cost of compliance for general insurers and external insurers. That would include captives as well. Our position has been that when you look at the Financial Action Task Force, which is the global standard setting body for AML-CFT, they do not have general insurers within the definition of financial institution. However, the government has taken the view that general insurers and external insurers should be included in this. And so we'll be looking at that going into 2018.
So could it be that the Bahamas is viewing the insurance industry as a component of the financial services sector, and as a result deciding that this is a necessary step, this is a necessary measure to safeguard against any challenges moving forward?
We contend as a general insurance industry that the risk of money laundering is very low, and we don't know of any other jurisdiction, certainly in the Caribbean, where this has been imposed.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in First at 6, deportee John Ronnie John Charles is back in court today. The results of those proceedings ahead. The Attorney General discussing remarks made by a parliamentarian yesterday in the lower chamber. And the government is one step closer to appointing new management team for the New Providence landfill as the list is narrowed down.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, First at 6. This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC every day.
The court was expected to hear arguments today on a formal stay of the court's order regarding deportee Ronnie John Charles. Good evening all, I'm C.S. Scatterly and this is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. However, the matter did not proceed as planned. Fern Carey tells us why.
It was a full court as lawyers involved in the Ronnie John Charles case returned for submissions regarding the stay of the order regarding the 35-year-old. Charles, who was born in the Bahamas, was picked up last September, detained at the Carmichael Road Detention Center, and eventually deported to Haiti. However, following a habeas corpus application, the court ordered that he be returned to the Bahamas and given status pending an application. Foreign Affairs then issued travel documents for Ronnie, who returned to the Bahamas on Saturday, but was again taken to the detention center. On Monday, the court ordered that he be released pending the hearing of the application for a stay. That hearing was expected to take place Thursday. However, Crown Counsel Lauren Klein requested an adjournment.
Now, the Ronnie John Charles matter has been adjourned until tomorrow as efforts continue to expedite this matter to the Court of Appeal.
Jean Ronnie's case raises a very important issue about the potential status of people born in the Bahamas to non-citizen parents who don't register between the ages of 18 and 19, and what is their status in the Bahamas after 19.
Justice Hilton also handed down rulings in 6 matters involving persons who had filed habeas corpus applications claiming they were illegally detained in the Carmichael Road Detention Center. The court ruled in their favor and they were ordered release. The court will also deliver its ruling in the matter of another 6 applicants who also filed habeas corpus applications in 2 weeks' time. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
The Citizenship Committee commencing its work today. That committee will look at matters involving persons with no status in the country. Immigration Minister the Honorable Brent Simonet indicated that the group met this morning.
We had one meeting with just myself and the commissioners to talk about what we were going to do, and last week, February the 1st, we had a meeting, a sort of let's call it a dry run, where we went through some files, we looked at the files, we asked the Commission how they wanted to deal with them, what sort of paperwork they needed and everything else. And today, February the 8th at 10:30, the Commission is having its first meeting. There are some 19 items on the agenda, because we figured that their first meeting we'd see how long they take. Obviously I'm not there. The Director of Immigration will act as Secretary of the meeting. They'll produce their recommendations, which will come to me, and I will take them to Cabinet for approval. We went over the issue of what happens if there is a objection, and I don't see any real reason for the Cabinet of the Bahamas to overturn a recommendation made by the Commission.
Now to news from Parliament. A no-show for the members of the opposition in the upper chamber today as they showed support for their suspended colleagues in the lower house. But as the sitting got underway, the government leader in the chamber brought another issue to the forefront. Cleopatra
Leader of Government Business in the Senate, Senator the Honorable Carl Bethel, gave a strong rebuke and distanced government from what he called ill-advised remarks made by Michael MP Miriam Emanuel in the House of Assembly Wednesday, making it clear that abuse is unacceptable. Bethel says as Attorney General, he feels obligated to address the matter.
No form of domestic violence can be tolerated under our law or in any way in this Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Emanuel was applauding House Speaker Halston Moultrie for suspending Eglinton MP Glenys Hannah Martin when she recounted advice by her father that has drawn widespread criticism. Bethel acknowledged Emanuel has since apologized, but says the country has moved beyond patrimonial control of the family.
We recognize the partnership and consensual-based nature of marriage, and we also affirm the absolute equality of women and men and the absolute integrity that must be given and accorded to every human being's body, which is a sacred thing, not to be violated.
The Attorney General says it is not a matter to be joked about, as it was in Parliament. He says government affirms its full commitment to the full integrity of everyone, male or female.
Under no circumstances can we condone or make light of domestic violence.
Bethel also noted that the Michael MP apologized for her comments that she says were taken out of context, and the public should accept the apology. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Government intends to borrow $90 million in loans from the Inter-American Development Bank. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Peter Turnquest, introduced a resolution in Parliament yesterday to secure the loan to finance 3 key development initiatives. The multi-year project, earmarked for Family Island Airport, infrastructural upgrades, climate-resilient coastal management and infrastructure, and skills for current and future jobs to improve in the employability of Bahamian youth. He broke down how the funds will be spent.
Climate-resilient coastal management and infrastructure, $35 million. Skills for current and future jobs, $20 million. Airport infrastructure programs, $35 million. And whereas the projects are expected to undertake inter-ally the following activities: A, create natural barriers to address coastal erosion. B, construction of seawalls on Grand Bahama and New Providence. C, construction and or improvements to the existing terminals and runways at North Eleuthera, Treasury Key, Abaco, Marsh Harbor, Abaco, and Exuma. D, enhancement of the labor process to ensure that job seekers are qualified and prepared for the labor market. And E, construction of new facilities for the Ministry of Labor.
The minister says government is committed to fiscal discipline, and any other loans or repayment to the IDB have been factored in government's original borrowing plan. The finance minister says government will continue to make use of lending institutions like the IDB, the Caribbean Development Bank, and other multilateral lending institutions where the Bahamas is a shareholder. Turnquest says the capacity to marshal affordable lending, regional know-how, and technical expertise has added tremendous value to important development initiatives. Now we're talking health news. Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands is dispelling rumors about possible cases of tuberculosis at a primary school in the capital. During a press conference today, the health officials made it clear that health teams are on alert and they are taking action to address any possible new cases of TB in the country. Dr. Sands then gave the preliminary results of screening at the Valentine's primary school.
38 students have been tested and all of them have been negative. 46 teachers have been tested with 2 positive, 40 negative, and 2 not yet red. We have tested 12 parents with 1 positive, 10 negative, and 1 yet to be red. And we have tested 22 administration and support staff members with 3 positive findings. I want to assure the public that staff from the Ministry of Health will complete the screening exercise at Valentine's primary school, and those students, teachers, administrators, and support staff who test positive will be given additional tests as needed to determine whether they have the disease.
The health minister also gave this update on other TB screenings in Eleuthera and New Providence.
The Ministry of Health has conducted extensive screening exercises on Eleuthera, at R.M. Bailey High School, and more recently at the Gaming Board in Nassau, which resulted in 17 positive findings out of 81 people tested. Those results, according to the international standards, did not allow for or cause concern or public panic. I wish to assure the public that the Ministry of Health will continue to conduct the prescribed TB screenings throughout the country as required. As Minister of Health, I am compelled to dispel public panic and fear by informing that the Bahamas has a stellar public health record, that every necessary protocol will be taken to identify and address any new cases that we find.
The human heart heart is one of the most complex organs in the body. Heart failure is a #1 killer of Bahamians, and one organization is committed to helping children afflicted with heart disease.
These 3 patients will cost us close to $250,000.
This month, join me, LaDawn Davis, as I discuss matters of the heart starting Monday, February 12th, right here on the ZNS Network.
I guess I was too big-eyed. You promised me so much. I gave up my time, my friends, my connections, and my contacts. And this is how you treat me? I should have never left my mean squeeze for this side piece. With all these funny numbers and things.
Why switch when you can stay with the company that covers every island, rock, and key? BTC, every day.
Commonwealth Bank MasterCard and SunCard MasterCard, the perfect team.
Using my Commonwealth Bank MasterCard is so easy. It's accepted around the corner and around the world.
Commonwealth Bank SunCard MasterCard lets you buy something Bahamian with something Bahamian. SunCard MasterCard will be accepted wherever you see the MasterCard logo throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Local bank, local card, local purchases. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
With KFC's Family Deal, everything is under control.
Dad genius.
Enjoy our family deal with 8 pieces of freshly prepared chicken, large family fries, and 4 biscuits. All for just $20 including VAT. KFC Nassau, it's finger-licking good.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
The government keeping its commitment of improving infrastructure across the country. Minister of Works, the Honorable Desmond Bannister, is leading a senior government delegation on the island of Abaco over the next 2 days. Upon his arrival, Minister Bannister held a press conference at the office of the Prime Minister in Marsh Harbor. He reversed that Minister of Finance, Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Peter Turnquest, will accompany the delegation tomorrow. We will have more on this story at 7 o'clock. The names of 7 companies disclosed today that are up for final consideration by government in the bidding process for the operation and management of the New Providence landfill. Government anticipates once this selection process is complete, it will mark the solution to the outstanding problems taking place at the city dump. This morning, the Minister of the Environment, the Honorable Ramal Ferreira, made public the names of those companies leading in the bidding process. He notes that all of the companies are a mix of Bahamian partnership or conglomerates. Nevertheless, he anticipates a positive outcome.
We want somebody to come in that has the experience. It's not like cutting their teeth on our New Providence sanitary landfill. And we need them with the access to capital so that they have the kind of resources that are going to be needed to do the work and operate the landfill. And at this stage, you know, we expect well thought out proposals to come in.
Minister Ferreira is of the opinion that finding a long-term solution to the city dump is the single most important environmental issue facing the country at this time.
We will evaluate each proposal on its own merit, and the selection team will make a decision. So there will be no favoritism on the basis of nationality. The most important thing of this exercise is to get this done correctly, to have the correct person in. I can't emphasize that enough. This isn't about giving anyone any kind of preferential treatment whatsoever. This is about results. We need to have the correct entity in. We look at this exercise as much more comprehensive than the last one, and which is why, you know, it took some time to put all of this together. So we're hoping to get a better outcome.
In other news, First Ed 6, more young Bahamians are being prepared for the job market. Close to 70 of them graduated last night with certificates from the Bahama Host and Synergy Bahamas training programs during a Fresh Start graduation. Many of them have received employment, and more of them will be interviewed by executives of Bahamar on February 15th. Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Michael Pintard, on the importance of a good quality education.
Getting a good education is about you getting a good job. When the truth of the matter is, you know better than we do that we come from some neighborhoods where there are some folks who never got any education, never had a job we would recognize in this lifetime, but they get plenty Benjamins, Marlins, Moolah. They live in large. So if education is not just about getting a job, because some folks have taken some shortcuts and they went straight for the money. They didn't worry about the education and the job. And I'm suggesting to you that the lifestyle they have led to get the money that they have is not worth it. It is beneath you and I.
Outstanding graduate Onassis Mitchell says he's thankful to the program for giving him the opportunity to contribute to the growth and development of his country.
From the program, we are walking away with more confidence in our abilities, more skills, an enormous amount of knowledge, and a passionate hunger for success. All of us can be great, every last one of us. See what I'm saying? God ain't put us here just to linger around and be Joneses. We can be the next Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture.
Rubus customers to receive numerous rewards for their loyalty. Among them, a year's supply of fuels, HD TVs, cell phones, cash, and much more. It's all a part of Rubus Rewards Day. Rubus believes in rewarding its customers, and through its recently launched rewards program, the company will be honoring them year-round. Now, to participate, customers only have to pick up a rewards tag from any service station and complete the 2-minute online registration process. Rubus is partnering with Outback Steakhouse, Galleria Cinemas, and Fidelity Bank in this venture. Well, sports is up next with Jonathan Benson. You're watching First at 6.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
Bring all the noise, drums, cowbells, whistles, and horns. FIBA World Cup qualifier games are back at the Kendall G. Isaacs Gym. Show your Bahamian pride and wear your colors as we take on the Dominican Republic Thursday, February 22nd, and Canada Sunday, February 25th. Oh my, I can't wait for all the above the rim, fast break, wire games. Team 242 needs their 6th man to be there. I know I'll be there. Tickets can be purchased online at www.etix.com.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
Happy birthday, Ariana. Happy birthday to you. What's this for?
I got me say some cake for you.
Ever since you guys moved to the Family Islands, I have missed so many birthdays.
Yes, Mummy. We gotta thank BTC for bringing the internet to our community.
You're right, honey. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Grammy. Say bye, Grammy.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The New Providence Volleyball Association's best of 3 first-round playoffs spiking off last night at the Donald Davis Gym. The Lady Defenders and Lady Techs took to the court first. Lady Defenders winning this one in straight sets, 25-15, 25-19, and 25-20.
Unfortunately for us, it was not as difficult as it was. You really don't want to, at this stage, to play easy games like this because it really doesn't get you prepared for the championship round, which we hope to be in.
We made a lot of errors.
Our Achilles heel is serve receive. There's a really good serving team. But we had a lot of good opportunities tonight that we just messed up on. We need to capitalize on that on the second game.
On the men's side, the same two clubs going at it. The result much the same. The Defenders also pulling off a 3-set victory over the Technicians, 25-13, 25-16, and 25-9. The government secondary school's best of 3 basketball championships will tip off on Monday at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. In senior boys play, the Anton Rogers Timberwolves will look to repeat as they take on the CC Sweeting Cobras, and the Timberwolves are still on a high after their buzzer beater against the CI Gibson Rattlers.
One game at a time. We know they're well coached. They've made adjustments as the season went on, and we're looking forward to a good game. Come out, it can be hot.
The Bahamas Scholastic Association continuing with regular season basketball play yesterday. In the primary boys division, the Jordan Prince William Falcons soaring high. They beat Christian Heritage 18-10. The junior boys saw a Christian Heritage rebound, a 37-28 win over Blairwood. A Capron also in the win column, 70-25 over Freedom Baptist. As for the senior boys, a Capron taking care of Hope Academy 46-39. Mount Carmel winner as well, 42-23 over Pace. The college basketball season continuing last night as well. Shalonda Neely, 2 rebounds and a block for head coach Gillette McPhee-McQuinn and the Jacksonville Lady Dolphins. They won 61-54 over Stetson. Phil McKenzie, meantime, finishing up with 3 rebounds and a block. Houston Baptist going down to Central Arkansas, 180. A number of Bahamians on the college hardwood tonight. DeAndre Ayton, he leads the 13th ranked Arizona Wildcats against UCLA. Dwight Colby and Western Kentucky, they welcome Florida Atlantic. Lindrick Moxie and Western Illinois, they play at Omaha. Nathan Bain and Stephen F. Austin on the road at McNeese State. Travis Munnings, Louisiana Monroe, they take on Georgia Southern. Jerron Cornish and Stony Brook play against UMass Lowell. And of course, Charles Bain and Robert Morris, they will take on St. Francis Brooklyn. Back here at home, the Providence Basketball Association has doubleheader action tonight. Up first in Division 2, the Alive Buckets taking on the Eagles Nest. That's followed by play in Division 1 between the Regulators and the Island Game Pros. The Eleuthera Basketball Association, they have action tonight as well in JC. The Palmetto Point Blazers open against the Governor's Harbor Crusaders. The Crusaders also playing in the second game tonight against the Harbor Island Panthers. The Bahamas Chess Federation has a new executive board in place following elections. Elton Joseph is the new president. Chappelle Williams is the first vice president. Second VP is Dr. David Sands. Andre White will serve as the treasurer. This year, the federation plans to focus heavily on training at all levels. They also hope to increase the number of chess players by helping to create and support all chess clubs throughout the country, while helping to promote critical thinking, better decision-making, and analysis among our youth. The Financial Bowling League, they had action last night at Mario's. The Strike Force, they put a blank job on the Moonlight Strikers. Deloitte and Touche, they didn't drop a game either. They took care of the Rubus Oil Stars. The BTC Nighthawks, they brought out the brooms as well against our very own ZNS Health Thrillers. As for Leno Corporate Services, they won 2-1 over Best Deal Kirky Bar. And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. First at 6 comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center. Influenza or the flu can be serious, causing hospitalization and sometimes death. One of the best ways to prevent acquiring the flu is to get your annual flu shot. Flu shots are available free of charge at all community clinics. The following high-risk persons are encouraged to get their annual flu shots: children 6 months and older, pregnant women, adults over the age of 50, persons with asthma, diabetes, hypertension, or a weakened immune system resulting from cancer and/or HIV, persons in nursing homes, and healthcare providers. Additional information regarding the flu shot can be provided by your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
Organs in the body. Heart failure is a #1 killer of Bahamians, and one organization is committed to helping children afflicted with heart disease.
These 3 patients will cost us close to $250,000.
This month, join me, LaDawn Davis, as I discuss matters of the heart starting Monday, February 12th, right here on the ZNS network.
Now to news from the region. The Netherlands is assuming direct control of the government of St. Eustatius, part of the Kingdom of the Netherlands. The decision was reportedly made based on a report from a committee that investigated the state of the island and concluded that there is a gross neglect of duties. The local governing body, the Island Council, will be dissolved and other officials will be relieved of their duties. A government commissioner will be appointed to administer the island's affairs. Prime Minister Andrew Holness tabled a copy of the report of the Commission to review Jamaica's relations within the CARICOM and CARIFORUM frameworks in the House of Representatives. The Commission was charged with evaluating the effects of Jamaica's membership in the Caribbean community on the country's economic growth and development, with particular reference to trade in goods and services, investment, international competitiveness, and job creation. And the lower house of Parliament in Antigua and Barbuda on Tuesday passed the amendment to the Misuse of Drugs Act, paving the way for the decriminalization of marijuana. However, the upper house will also have to approve the amendment, and it would have to be gazetted before it becomes law. When passed, the new law will allow residents to have up to 15 grams of cannabis instead of the original 10 grams proposed. The proposed law will also make it lawful for a household to have up to 4 plants in their possession.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather, high pressure remain in control of our weather, and that is suppressing cloud development over much of the 700 islands, save for the extreme northwest Bahamas, where a front boundary is getting very close to that area. Will provide some cloud covers beginning tonight and tomorrow. Outside of our studios, it is partly sunny. Your temperature 81 degrees, relative humidity at around 78%. Winds are out of the northeast at 7 knots. Your barometric pressure 1,022.1 millibars. That is 30.18 inches, and it is steady. That's going to do it for your first look at weather at 6. Stay tuned, more weather is still to come.
Thank you so much, Basil. With that, we end first at 6. The Northern Edition is straight ahead, so stay tuned.
Touring the fire site in Abaco, the AP program setting a new goal, and students involved in a unique science-based competition.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. First up in the news tonight, a local industrial company is announcing a major expansion project, and many young Bahamians stand to benefit. Sabrina Brown reports.
Pine Yard Steel and Technical Center is investing $1.2 million into a massive expansion plan. Owner Edney Anderson has acquired a property on Queens Highway with over 18,000 square feet of space. He says training will be a major focus, and he's working to ensure that Grand Bahama has a good pool of skilled workers.
We will have the capacity to train 600 welders over the next 3 years. Come June, we will be full-time into the welding, the fitting. Upstairs, we have our facilities where we will be doing preparation for the CPA exams, QuickBooks. We're also going to be preparing patients to now be able to do their own VAT for their companies. We have also put in place facilities for the single mothers, that we'll have a daycare center taking care of your children. So you have no excuse not to come to school when Pine Yard Technical Center is completed.
Anderson says it is troubling to see so many young men involved in criminal activities, and he believes his program can play a vital role in prison reform.
Pine Yard Technical Center wants to work with the government to catch these young men even when they're in prison, FISO offenders. Instead of sending these young men up to prison, put these young men in school. And if they don't volunteer to go to school and make it mandatory that they report to school, then put them in prison.
He says he wants to partner with members of the community to help steer young men in particular on a positive path.
We now are appealing to the parents the guidance council, the high school, to get those young men 2 nights a week while they're in high school, so that when they finish high school, they don't be so frustrating on the economy.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
The Ministry of Grants Bahama in the Office of the Prime Minister's APRE program is underway and making positive strides. Those involved in the program taking part in a 3-day seminar with the goal of establishing an official cooperative society. 20 beekeepers, a part of the Ministry for Grants Bahama's AP program, taking part in a seminar hosted by the Department of Cooperative Development in the Ministry of Agriculture. The group was educated on the history of cooperatives, the benefits of coming together, and given advice on how to officially become a successful cooperative.
The only main thing that we gave them is the power of cooperation, working together. An informal definition of a cooperative is people helping people to help themselves, and today they have that down pat today.
The benefits of this group versus a sole proprietor would be they would have bargaining power right away. They would be able to control the market and set the price compared to an individual trying to do it by themselves. And you know, if an individual do it by themselves and they were to take a loss, then that individual would really feel it, whereas if they work together and they were to happen to take a loss, or even when they gain, they were to share the profits, and no man would be left behind. You know, it wouldn't be just one person rich in the society and then the rest of them struggling.
Provisional Chairman of the Grants Bahama Beekeeper Society, Tyree Moss, says that the 14-week program is going very well so far. In addition to the cooperative presentation, he says they've also had national and international presenters come and share valuable information.
We had a brief seminar, and then we've had the 14-week program. We're getting to about the middle, and we are clamping down on not only the theoretical part, but the practical part. So we've already began extracting wild hives, relocating them and rehabilitating them to harvest their products.
Moss says they are excited to officially become a cooperative and complete their training program.
Currently, we are actually founding the co-op so we can be an official body going forward. So you would have one number to call if you have wild bees, where you would know someone reputable and skilled would come by and sort the issue out for you. That's the part we're on currently. And in the future, we're going to get into actual products, such as certain creams, honey, soaps, candles, etc. We're going to go into the productization part of the program.
They say they are extremely grateful for the public and private support that has assisted them thus far. Another pastor is weighing in on the marijuana debate tonight. This member of the clergy says this hot-button issue must be viewed from a spiritual perspective.
Seeing what it is done to human, I don't think it will be good. And
Pastor of New Canaan Baptist Church, Bishop Washington Williams, is straight to the point on his stance regarding the possible legalization of marijuana in the country. For him, it's a no, and he says he doesn't think that it should be an issue for discussion.
Somebody can get up and say, well, look, I could go and get a little smoke it ain't, I mean, of course but because it is not legal, it put fear in a whole lot of people, you know, and they say, well, I'm not going to bother that because I know if I bother that, what's going to happen, you know. But when you make it legal, man, listen, the door's open. I don't think it will be good, and I honestly believe that that will be the first step to other things, other drugs.
He questions where is the Christianity in legalizing marijuana.
God said your body is the temple of the Lord. And anything that you put into your body that defiles the body, then you are going against the laws of God. That's right. If I defile the body by drinking or smoking or anything that defiles the body, So, for me, if I had to vote, I'd be a double no.
As the conversation in the nation stands, it has been suggested that the government should decriminalize the possession of a small amount of marijuana. Bishop Williams says this is also a bad idea.
Common sense with all the years I've been here. You can have a small amount today and a small amount tomorrow, a small amount by the time it's the weekend, you got a hell of a lot. You understand? Because you don't have to get it all one time. And well, you know, 1,000 miles begin with one step. And so I think that would be damaging for our country.
He does acknowledge that some religious groups use marijuana as a part of their worship, but he says he still believes that if one can abstain from the use of marijuana, then you should do so.
Stay with us, The Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition continues in just a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
Come on down now
to the plant nursery at Dolly Madison for Dieffenbachia, mums, bromeliads, passion,
corn plants,
fire, anthuriums, valentine,
hydrangeas,
romance, begonias, spectacular, ferns, ornamental, ficus, palms, and the most spectacular selection of roses on the island. Guaranteed to heighten the spark of romance in your life. Dolly's got all the favorites that are sure to make this Valentine's extra special.
Come on down now.
Why shop abroad when there is Bellevue Business Depot, your one-stop shop for all your complete business solutions and office supplies. Come and explore our new furniture showroom where you can find desks, chairs, filing cabinets, and bookcases for your home and office. Need to accessorize that desk? Our wide range of electronics where we have laptops, speakers, printers, televisions, routers, and much, much more. We also specialize in computer repairs and IT support. Don't have a computer? No problem. Come enjoy our low rates at our cyber center or let our professional trained staff at the business center satisfy all of your printing needs where we do house plans, funeral programs, weddings, and discounts for all teachers and churches. While waiting on your prints, purchase a mocha at our coffee cafe where we also serve fresh Bahamian patties and pastries. All here at Bellevue Business Depot, Queens Highway, Freeport. Store hours 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday and Saturdays 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. Bellevue Business Depot.
I feel beautiful. Peace Junction. And now I smell so wonderful. Peace Junction. Peace Junction. Peace Junction. They got everything you need and more.
We are your one-stop gift shop downtown in the Culmerville Plaza. Handbags, accessories, and fragrances for men, women, and kids. Open Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Special orders and layaway available. Call 352-9554 for more info.
They got everything you need and more.
Freeport has 2 large one-topping pizzas for just $21.99 at both locations. And delivery, carry-out, and dine-in options are available. Don't wait. Stop by or phone in your order now. On the mall, call 352-9191 on East Sunrise Highway, 373-8500. 2 large one-topping pizzas for just $21.99, VAT inclusive, at Pizza Hut Freeport. Make it great.
Saturdays 8:10 a.m. would like to be a part of your love story. Tell us how you met your Valentine. Whether married for 18 weeks, 18 months, 18 years, or 80 years, Saturdays 8:10 a.m. wants to hear your love story. From how you met, to who made the first move, to what makes your relationship special. Call us and share your love story at #ShareYourLoveStory at Saturdays 3-8:10 a.m., The Light, or 8:10 a.m. radio request line. 352-3984 or 352-3985.
Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Public Hospitals Authority Nursing Administration doing their part to advance the trained clinical nurses program. A total of 10 nurses were enrolled in the 4-month core competency strengthening certification program. An official graduation ceremony was held in the foyer of the Rands Memorial Hospital this morning. Nursing Services Advisor with the PHA, Lillian Black Charlton, and Nursing Principal Officer Sherilyn Bain considered the program most essential.
Many years we've had programs purely for registered nurses. We have not had a program to support the practice of the trained clinical nurse. And so the program is designed to to enhance the practice of the trained clinical nurse so that they will not only provide very basic care, but take them to an advanced level that's consistent with their job function.
We know that knowledge, it depreciates after a while. And so what this program did was sensitize or resensitize or reintroduce them to the 10 that participated. And it's not just a one-time deal. And so we're beginning a new cohort actually on the 19th of this month.
Associate Professor of Nursing at the University of the Bahamas, Maggie Turner, encouraging nurses to stay on the cutting edge.
Science is changing, and then as the Bahamas also becomes like melting pot almost, persons are coming in from every country, they need to be kept aware of the changes so that they can in turn administer the kinds of care that the institution expects of them.
A unique science-based competition underway at the St. George's High School. The 2-day challenge is geared toward the development of the sciences. Italia Hall reports.
Schools from east to west turned out for the St. George's High School Science Department Slime Challenge. Students were eager to begin creating their unique slimes with glue, glitter, and other crafty items. The honoree of the competition, retired science officer at the Ministry of Education, Herbert Marshall, says he believes science is the most exciting subject on the curriculum, and competitions like these can be beneficial for students in the future.
I was sharing with them that we had a student involved in a competition like this some years ago. His name is Laron Burrows, and today he is actually an inventor in the United States of America. Getting involved in competitions like this at this early age is going to help them to start to think that way, to become more critical thinkers, and it's going to help them to enjoy learning.
Teachers Samantha Ramming and Dorcas Vega believe this competition will help to promote love for science.
I had students who were making slime long before this competition came about, because children are tech savvy, so they saw a lot of YouTube videos. So this is just an opportunity for them to venture into the thing that they actually like.
It also show that they are able to do anything that they put their mind to.
Biology teacher at the St. George's High School, Ricardo Mitchell, says every year the department will put on competitions like this to keep students interested in the field.
Education in the Bahamas is really going down, and so finding these fun ways to get kids into science and to build their interest is very, very important, and that's what we're hoping to do.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
The Reach Out Youth Organization is partnering with the Ministry of Education and the BTC to host the 11th Annual Boys to Men Conference later this week. The theme this year is Making the Right Choices.
Our whole idea is to make sure the young men don't decide BDs, smoking marijuana, gambling in the school. So we decided to bring some businessmen at the conference. We invited Parliamentary, the container port, the shipyard, so the young men could know that you can make good decisions.
BDC always find it a pleasure, a joy to come back to family to ensure that whatever is necessary to ensure that this conference go off well, that we're there to support you.
Organizers are looking to impact as many young men as possible, and the entire community is encouraged to support this event.
I would encourage intercessors like Brother Dudley would have said to be praying for this conference. Let's make this conference a success, because if it succeeds, our young people are going to benefit.
All schools will be there, but we're calling
everyone, mothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters, to be there, because if we all pull together, we will get this work done. There is still hope.
The Boys to Men Conference will be held this coming Friday, February 9th at Calvary Temple Assemblies of God at 9:30 a.m. Pioneers Way will come alive this Saturday with the sounds of Junkanoo, as hundreds of junior Junkanooers will be on the parade route. It kicks off at 5 p.m. with the official opening ceremony. Jack Hayward Junior School is among the participants. Italia Hall reports.
The students of the Jack Haywood Junior High School are focusing on the theme, Who Are We? Drums, cowbells, and blue and white costumes will all be on display. Art teacher Caudell McNabb is one of the coordinators.
The theme was brought up by a team between the principal and Mrs. McSweeney, which was quite challenging because it limits us as to what we could do. But then I guess after putting ideas together, we came up with some pretty good things. This year is also going to be a good showing of the banner. The dancers, they've been performing, and I guess you saw a little part of what they're going to be doing. The costumes will make it enhanced.
McNabb says you can expect to see a lot of stars on the parade route. Junkanooers also plan to highlight the school's accomplishments.
We're featuring the Teacher of the Year. We're also featuring our steel band, which is, everything is on the banner basically. The costumes are designed around the star, so all the costumes will reflect the star.
McNabb assures that they will be all prepared to hit the parade route this Saturday.
One of the things that we're pleased with is that we've allowed the students to be a part of everything or every aspect of the showing. I designed the costumes, built them, and the Junkanoos, they actually did all the pasting, all the glittering, everything that's done to them.
It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News.
And now it is time to Ask the Doctor.
Hi and welcome. Rosa asked, are women more at risk for heart disease than men? Your question is so timely, Rosa, and thanks for asking it. February is recognized as Heart Health Month, and many of us participate in the Go Red for Women campaign promoting heart health for women. Heart disease remains the #1 killer in the Bahamas for both men and women. But one reason we try to raise awareness of heart disease, particularly in women, is because their symptoms may be different and they may not experience the so-called typical symptoms such as chest pain, left arm pain, or shortness of breath. Results from a previous U.S. study by the National Institutes of Health suggest that women often have new or different physical symptoms for as long as a month or even longer before experiencing a heart attack. Surprisingly, 40% of women in the study reported that they had no chest pain during any phase of their heart attack. If you or someone you know is experiencing symptoms of a heart attack, please call 919 or go to Nurse Emergency Room immediately. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Right One is up next with the Check on Sports.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Freeport Jewelers in Port Lucaya. Fashion starts here.
Introducing FRS Caribbean's new services to Bimini and Miami. Go to Bimini from Grand Bahama Island for only $14 one way, or to Miami with one stop in Bimini for only $21 one way on our modern high-speed craft. And while you're at it, let us handle your cargo needs too for only $122.70 a pallet. Book now. FRS Caribbean is the best and most affordable way to Bimini and Miami.
Excuse me, Mr. Arnold. I overheard you talking to Bree about BIBT, but I didn't hear you tell her about the new bachelor's degree program. Check it out, man. I already signed up.
New bachelor's degree program, accounting, business administration, human resource management, convenient evening classes, affordable tuition, accelerated completion time, and they approved by NACOP. Boy, she ain't gonna never have to leave this island. I can call her right now. Homeboy, do me a favor, eh? Stop overhearing my conversations.
Bahamas Institute of Business and Technology. Phone us today. Freeport Campus 351-2673 or Nassau Campus 325-2016. BIBT, pursuing knowledge, applying wisdom.
Everybody, I'm Ricardo Lightman. Tonight we're dedicating sports to the Major family. You see a little Major pass this afternoon. The Grand Bahama Golfing Community has lost yet another one of our sports legend. The Fortune Hills Men Ladies Golf Association has lost a very good golfing friend tonight. Also from golf this weekend, the Reef Golf Course is going to be pretty busy, folks. Rotary Club of Sunrise has got the Guthrie Memorial on their calendar. The Reef Golf Course will be the venue for the 5th annual Jonathan Guthrie Memorial Golf Tournament that's set for this Saturday at 8:30 a.m. shotgun start. Coordinator and past president of Rotary Club of Sunrise, Wayne Russell, said the tournament is near and dear to the Rotary family. It's a special project for the Rotary clubs, and the focus is on scholarship funding for our young people on Grand Bahama.
In just 6 years since its creation, the fund has awarded over $30,000 in scholarships to students traveling abroad and staying home in the field of accounting, as Jonathan himself was a CPA. The tournament is the only fundraiser supporting the scholarship program, and 100% of its profits go directly to the scholarship fund. With continued support of the golfers and the business community, we hope every year to grow the fund and award more scholarships.
Alive will put this stamp of approval on the tournament, and Mike Stanton says he will tee it up for a worthy cause.
Indeed, awarding over $20,000 in financial aid to students over 4 years is commendable. Alive stands ready to assist the Rotary Club this coming Saturday, February the 10th, by not only providing financial donation, but I also look forward to hitting the field as well. Hopefully not literally. Our goal is always to meet and surpass expectations, and we believe this sponsorship with the Grand Bahama Rotary Club will allow us to do just that. And we look forward to a very exciting day of golf.
The tournament director is Ambrose Guthrie, a special way, he says, to keep his son's memory alive.
It's a four-man team with the two best net scores of the four to count. And there's an opportunity for a golfer who is either lucky or good enough to score a hole-in-one on a par 3, the number 4th hole. It has to be the first golfer that does this. And we're very anxious to give away this car, so the only way you can win it is to get involved in the team.
And also, Dobie Roshkuma, Derek Nesbitt, Senior Boys High School Basketball Finals started. So let's get you up to speed on who got Game 1. The fans ready for the Senior Boys Basketball Finals ended as best of 3 games. The Jockeywood Wildcats and Tabernacle Falcons, and the referees are ready to say play ball. The Falcons with the basketball in the fast break. It's a game of runs. Siandre Todd also working on a 10-point game. The Wildcats entered the game as the 1 seed and found that play in the paint was a bit physical. The foul on this play. 42-39 your score, the Falcons in control. Jockeywood ball. Shaky Hall getting his players to take what the Falcons defense gave. Tremaine Ferguson with a 13-point performance in this one. The Wildcats fell short in Game 1 and the Falcons won at 49-46. Game 2 will be a different ball game, says Coach Hall. Coach Clark and the Falcons are not fazed at all. For the Grandma Power, Moon and McPhee, Cecil Thompson, Primary basketball scores are passed on to you. Walter Parker girls over Mary Star, the C17-3. Temple Christian got by Freeport Gospel 7-1. In the boys' side of things, Cielos over Mary Star 16-5. St. Cecilia with a 15-8 win over Tabernacle and Temple Christian is got by Bishop Michael Eldon 11-6. And Hugh Campbell over St. Thomas More get the score 16-14. And that's going to be it for your sports tonight.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Steppin' Out. Satisfy your style habits with shoes for every occasion. Steppin' Out, when you want to put your best foot forward.
Welcome to Jags International. We have Celebration, Valeria, FRS, Bahamas Air, Hotel, car vouchers now on sale.
Girls, I tried book my ticket online with them ferry them. So complicated, they asking for too much.
That's why I stick to Jags. No agency fees or booking fees. Cash and credit, all the same. Blow deals and spectacular services with a smile.
Yes, that's Jags. Your one-stop shop to Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, and Miami.
We even offer cheap car rental vouchers to all our thrifty Hertz and VIP service.
Book now with Jags and get their $5 discount card. And don't forget the super sales going on.
All last year, I fell in love with Belinda. But this year, I want to just kick it up a notch.
Did you hear about our new bamboo line?
When he started talking about you can still on TV.
Hold on, Dr. Love. Not that type of bamboo you talking about. You ain't hear about the nice bamboo sheet. And you can get it in all colors. And if you ain't want it in the sheets, Dr. Love, you can get it in the pillows.
Thank God for Island Bedding.
Come and visit me at number 5, Queens Highway, Island Bedding.
Influenza or the flu can be serious, causing hospitalization and sometimes death. One of the best ways to prevent acquiring the flu is to get your annual flu shot. Flu shots are available free of charge at all community clinics. The following high-risk persons are encouraged to get their annual flu shots: children 6 months and older, pregnant women, adults over the age of 50, persons with asthma, diabetes, hypertension, or a weakened immune system resulting from cancer and/or HIV, persons in nursing homes, and healthcare providers. Additional information regarding the flu shot can be provided by your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
Saturday at 8:10 a.m. would like to be a part of your love story. Tell us how you met your Valentine. Whether married for 18 weeks, 18 months, 18 years, or 80 years, Sadness 8:10 a.m. wants to hear your love story. From how you met, to who made the first move, to what makes your relationship special. Call us and share your love story at #ShareYourLoveStory at Sadness 8:10 a.m., The Light, or 8:10 a.m. radio request line 352-3984 or 352-3985.
Good. Deanna Miller is going to be celebrating tonight, and Junior Junkanoo is going to be on Saturday. It's going to be a wonderful show. We want you guys to come out and support our young people so you can show them exactly how it's done. We have young bushwhackers.
Really? Seriously?
Young bushwhackers, girl.
Now I have to go home. That's going to do it for us here in the North.
Obrigado, like boy.
I'm Megan Shepherd's Moments Tonight. Continue.
Bye.
Who let you men?
Influenza or the flu can be serious, causing hospitalization and sometimes death. One of the best ways to prevent acquiring the flu is to get your annual flu shot. Flu shots are available free of charge at all community clinics. The following high-risk persons are encouraged to get their annual flu shots: children 6 months and older, pregnant women, adults over the age of 50, persons with asthma, diabetes, hypertension, or a weakened immune system resulting from cancer and/or HIV, persons in nursing homes, and healthcare providers. Additional information regarding the flu shot can be provided by your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
Organs in the body. Heart failure is a #1 killer of Bahamians, and one organization is committed to helping children afflicted with heart disease.
These 3 patients will cost us close to $250,000.
This month, join me, LaDawn Davis, as I discuss matters of the heart starting Monday, February 12th, right here on the ZNS Network. Coming up in the National Report, Ronnie Jean Charles is back in court today. The Citizenship Committee commencing its work. Government intends to borrow $90 million in loans from the Inter-American Development Bank. And nearly 70 young Bahamians graduate with training certification from the Fresh Start program. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts right now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis. The case of Jean Ronnie Charles has taken an adjournment until tomorrow. Lawyers from both sides are hoping to work on an agreement for the stay of the judge's order to expedite the case to the Court of Appeal. Fern Carey tells us about proceedings today, which also impacts 6 more detainees.
It was a full court as lawyers involved in the Ronnie John Charles case returned for submissions regarding the stay of the order regarding the 35-year-old. Charles, who was born in the Bahamas, was picked up last September, detained at the Carmichael Road Detention Center, and eventually deported to Haiti. However, following a habeas corpus application, the court ordered that he be returned to the Bahamas and given status pending an application. Foreign Affairs then issued travel documents for Ronnie, who returned to the Bahamas on Saturday, but was again taken to the detention center. On Monday, the court ordered that he be released pending the hearing of the application for a stay. That hearing was expected to take place Thursday. However, Crown Counsel Lauren Klein requested an adjournment.
Now, the Ronnie Jean Charles matter has been adjourned until tomorrow as efforts continue to expedite this matter to the Court of Appeal.
Jean Ronnie's case raises a very important issue about the potential status of people born in the Bahamas to non-citizen parents who don't register between the ages of 18 and 19, and what is their status in the Bahamas after 19.
Justice Hilton also handed down rulings in 6 matters involving persons who had filed habeas corpus applications claiming they were illegally detained in the Carmichael Road Detention Center. The court ruled in their favor and they were ordered release. The court will also deliver its ruling in the matter of another 6 applicants who also filed habeas corpus applications in 2 weeks' time.
Justice Hilton is merely repeating, for the benefit of the government again, that the Bahamas is governed by the rule of law. And there is an Immigration Act, there is a Criminal Procedure Code, and there is a Constitution, which says everybody is presumed innocent, and you cannot simply hold people indefinitely, either at Fox Hill or the detention center.
Attorney Fred Smith-Cusey said that the case has significant constitutional implications. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
The Citizenship Committee beginning its work today. The historic move will improve the granting of citizenship in the country, and it comes as government seeks to ensure further transparency in the immigration system. That committee will look at matters involving persons with no status in this country. Immigration Minister, the Honorable Brent Simonet, said the group met this morning.
We had one meeting with just myself and the commissioners to talk about what we were going to do, and last week, February the 1st, we had a meeting, a sort of let's call it a dry run, where we went through some files, we looked at the files, we asked the Commission how they wanted to deal with them, what sort of paperwork they needed and everything else. And today, February the 8th at 10:30, the Commission is having its first meeting. There are some 19 items on the agenda, because we figured that their first meeting we'd see how long they take. Obviously I'm not there. The Director of Immigration will act as Secretary of the meeting. They'll produce their recommendations, which will come to me, and I will take them to Cabinet for approval. We went over the issue of what happens if there is a objection, and I don't see any real reason for the Cabinet of the Bahamas to overturn a recommendation made by the Commission.
The Immigration Minister also clarified some of the important matters that will be discussed by the Commission.
Are persons born in the Bahamas to non-Bahamian parents, have lived here all their lives, and applied for citizenship between the ages of 18 and 19. So I'm distinguishing myself between the case that's currently in the news. When the Commission gets acclimatized or accustomed and we see the numbers that they're dealing with, there's a possibility that we can assign other items, possibly spousal permits and other issues, but that's down the road, because the idea is to get the Minister and the Cabinet out of the business of dealing with citizenship.
The Senate resumed Thursday morning without opposition senators who boycotted in a show of support for their suspended colleagues in the House of Assembly. But it was another issue that unfolded in the lower chamber that took precedent for the country's Attorney General. Cleopatra Murphy explains.
Leader of Government Business in the Senate, Senator the Honorable Carl Bethel, gave a strong rebuke and distanced government from what he called ill-advised remarks made by Michael MP Miriam Emanuel in the House of Assembly Wednesday, making it clear that abuse is unacceptable. Bethel says as Attorney General, he feels obligated to address the matter.
No form of domestic violence can be tolerated under our law or in any way in this Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Emanuel was applauding House Speaker Halston Moultrie for suspending Anglican MP Glenys Hannah Martin when she recounted advice by her father that has drawn widespread criticism. Bethel acknowledged Emanuel has since apologized, but says the country has moved beyond patrimonial control of the family.
We recognize the partnership and consensual-based nature of marriage, and we also affirm the absolute equality of women and men and the absolute integrity that must be given and accorded to every human being's body, which is a sacred thing, not to be violated.
The Attorney General says it is not a matter to be joked about, as it was in Parliament. He says government affirms its full commitment to the full integrity of everyone, male or female.
Under no circumstances can we condone or make light of domestic violence.
Bethel also noted that the Michael MP apologized for her comments that she says were taken out of context, and the public should accept the apology. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
The Senate debated and passed several pieces of legislation: the electricity rate bond reduction, electricity amendments, and the Traveler's Currency Declaration. Leader of Government Business, Senator the Honorable Carl Bethel, says the bills represent a fundamental policy change. The electricity amendments will allow Bahamians to receive more efficient power supply, while the Traveler's Currency Declaration is an effort to protect against tax evasion and fraud. Bethel supported the bill, speaking specifically to the Traveler's Currency Declaration.
We trust that it will not be an undue or unnecessary burden, but we also trust that it will catch any money launderers, people smuggling jewels in or out of the Bahamas, people smuggling bullion and other precious metals in or out of the Bahamas in order for illicit purposes to transfer value from one place to another that could be used either to facilitate money laundering or, even worse, to facilitate terrorist activity.
Senators the Honorable Dwight Sawyer, Kwesi Thompson, Jamal Moss, and Dion Folks also contributed to the debate, giving their support to the piece of legislation.
All other arrangements will remain the same. For instance, the debt will remain with BEC and will be paid off through the rate reduction bond from the revenue raised by BPL.
We commend the government for moving forward with respect to these pieces of legislation. They are important. They, I believe, will continue the plan that the government has, the overall plan to reduce the cost of electricity.
The act has teeth, and it will do what it's set out to do, and that is to make everyone comply with world standards. And 2, make people coming or leaving the Bahamas more accountable for their declarations.
The government, the Prime Minister, Dr. Menace, and the entire cabinet, we are working extremely hard to ensure that electricity for all Bahamians is affordable.
The government intends to borrow $90 million in the loans from the Inter-American Development Bank. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Peter Turnquest, introduced a resolution in Parliament to secure the loan to finance 3 key development initiatives. The multi-year projects are earmarked for Family Island Airport, infrastructural upgrades, climate-resilient coastal management, and skills for current and future jobs. The minister broke down how some of the funds would be spent.
Climate resilient coastal management infrastructure, $35 million. Skills for current and future jobs, $20 million. Airport infrastructure programs, $35 million. And whereas the projects are expected to undertake inter alia the following activities: A, create natural barriers to address coastal erosion. B, construction of seawalls on Grand Bahama and New Providence. C, construction and or improvements to the existing terminals and runways at North Eleuthera, Treasury Key, Abaco, Marsh Harbor, Abaco, and Exuma. D, enhancement of the labor process to ensure that job seekers are qualified and prepared for the labor market. And E, construction of new facilities for the Ministry of Labor.
The human heart is one of the most complex organs in the body. Heart failure is a #1 killer of Bahamians, and one organization is committed to helping children afflicted with heart disease.
These 3 patients will cost us close to $250,000.
This month, join me, LaDawn Davis, as I discuss matters of the heart starting Monday, February 12th, right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell and Letty, designed for extra miles.
What does support look like? What does it sound like when you feel the pulse of a nation? When you make a difference in the lives of strong, principled, cultured people who are driven by hard work and passion. People who build communities where hospitality is warmly demonstrated, because this is the Bahamas and we're happy to share our wealth. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians. Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Every day you wake up with the world in the palm of your hand. Making connections and creating memories and sharing them with the people you care about. Every day the world is at your fingertips, and you can experience every blockbuster movie in stunning HD and top 100 Billboard music hit with the touch of a button. Every day your family and friends are important to you, and staying in touch no matter where you are in the Bahamas or the world is your #1 priority. And that's why every day for over 100 years, BTC has been there to ensure that every Bahamian has the best connection to the world. We cover every island, rock and key, regardless of the cost. This is BTC Country.
With KFC's Family Deal, everything is under control.
Dad genius.
Enjoy our family deal with 8 pieces of freshly prepared chicken, large family fries, and 4 biscuits. All for just $20 including VAT. KFC Nassau, it's finger-licking good.
This was George not too long ago. George had a lot of debt. He wasn't very happy. Then, one day, a friend told George about Bank of the Bahamas' Fresh Start Debt Consolidation Loan, how he could consolidate up to $75,000 of debt into one loan with a single payment. Now this is George. With the extra money freed up each month, he can save towards his goals and enjoy life a little. Apply for your Fresh Start today. From BOB, your bank of solutions.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands dispelling rumors about possible cases of tuberculosis at a primary school here in the capital. At a press conference today, the health minister made it clear that health teams are on alert and they are taking action to address any possible new cases of TB in this country. Dr. Sands then gave the preliminary results of screenings at the Valentine's primary school.
38 students have been tested and all of them have been negative. 46 teachers have been tested with 2 positive, 40 negative, and 2 not yet red. We have tested 12 parents with 1 positive, 10 negative, and 1 yet to be red. And we have tested 22 administration and support staff members with 3 positive findings. I want to assure the public that staff from the Ministry of Health will complete the screening exercise at Valentine's primary school, and those students, teachers, administrators, and support staff who test positive will be given additional tests as needed to determine whether they have the disease.
The health minister also gave this update on other TB screenings in Eleuthera and New Providence.
The Ministry of Health has conducted extensive screening exercises on Eleuthera, at R.M. Bailey High School, and more recently at the Gaming Board in Nassau, which resulted in 17 positive findings out of 81 people tested. Those results, according to the international standards, did not allow for or cause concern or public panic. I wish to assure the public that the Ministry of Health will continue to conduct the prescribed TB screenings throughout the country as required. As Minister of Health, I am compelled to dispel public panic and fear by informing that the Bahamas has a stellar public health record, that every necessary protocol will be taken to identify and address any new cases that we find.
The government keeping its commitment to improving infrastructure across this country. Minister of Works, the Honorable Desmond Bannister, is leading a senior government delegation on the island of Abaco over the next 2 days. Altavi's Munnings reports tonight on the minister's tour of the fire-damaged mud community.
Just weeks after a fire destroyed parts of the mud community here in North Abaco, the Minister of Public Works, the Honorable Desmond Bannister, is on site to view the damage for himself firsthand. He's leading a senior government delegation here to find out what damage was sustained and how the fire has impacted the residents of this North Abaco community.
I'm seeing illegal electrical generation. I'm seeing stolen BEC wiring, very wiring that cannot be purchased commercially, that was used here. I'm seeing inadequate arrangements with respect to hygiene. It is clear that we cannot permit this to be continued. And I'm also seeing people who are attempting to try to rebuild, which cannot be permitted to happen. So we are going to move very quickly. I'm going to advise my cabinet colleagues about this on Tuesday, and I suspect you're going to see some action early next week here with respect to the beginning of cleaning up.
Chairman of the Marsh Harbor Springs City Township, Roscoe Thompson, is also accompanying the minister on his tour of the mud site here Thursday morning. And Mr. Thompson, first of all, just tell us exactly what did you learn about the damage that was sustained here in the mud after the fire several weeks ago?
From what my understanding came is we found out that there were approximately 40 to 60 structures that were ablaze that have now no longer exist in this portion. It's good to see that we have the attention of the government. Now it's time to move forward and to stop this from happening again, opening a fire road, whatever it may be, but also to start regularizing the people that are here, getting them to come in, not worried about if they're going to be persecuted, if they don't have their papers, to get them registered so they can become legal members of our society.
Although some of the residents who have been affected by the fire here in the mud community have been displaced, some of them who are still here are still happy to be here because they're saying that the fire has not only affected them, but the entire community. How has the fire affected your family?
No, it's not about family. All the community, we are infected because we are one. It's not about family, it's about people.
How long have you been living in the mud?
I've been living in about 1992. That's why I'm telling you.
Okay.
You see? And then now you think I could tell them people, give me some place to sleep? I could say that. That's just I try to go in.
Reporting from Marsh Harbor, Abaco, I'm Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Altaviz. The ease of doing business, high energy costs, and other concerns were among the issues discussed during a meeting for tourism executives. Addressing them was the Minister of Financial Services, Trade and Industry. Jimenita Swain reports.
Industry stakeholders from throughout the country attended the board and membership meeting for the Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association Thursday. While many issues persist regarding the ease of doing business, energy costs, and other matters, the Minister of Financial Services, Trade and Industry and Immigration, the Honorable Brian Simonet, issued a challenge to members.
Tell the current cabinet what they have to do to make it work for you. Because we cannot continue the same old and expect a different result. It doesn't work.
Now, a number of industry stakeholders and hoteliers took the minister up on his challenge, indicating to him specific areas that they would hope that the government seeks to address.
There's no reason why we can't have an online processing fee and system, or somewhere the administrators are fighting, they're going down to the lodges and they're getting frustrated because no one's telling the true story, and it needs to be told.
I'll tell you that we are working at the portal to be able to pay for that fly fishing permit before you get to Landfill Point or Mastic Point or wherever you go. Because most of these people that come in to fly fish are high net worth people that fly in their private jets. They are law-abiding people, and the last thing they want to be scared about is thinking of fly fishing without a permit.
Bahama Vice President Robert Sandy Sands also had a question linked to the ease of doing business and immigration.
Those bank accounts are signatories of persons who have work permits. When the work permit of the signatory expires, the bank account ceases to exist. Obviously, that is a disconnect that should require some correction to cause for the continuation of those bank accounts without violating on a renewal process.
No, we have to find a way to make sure that works. And Central Bank are working with us to make sure we make that ease happen.
Now, Minister Simonet made it clear that each and every industry stakeholders will have to take a collective effort to move the product forward. Jimenita Swain, ZNS Network News.
The government has sought a long-term solution to the problems taking place at the New Providence landfill. Today, the minister responsible gave an update on the bidding process. Carla Palmer reports.
The latest fire at the New Providence landfill may have been extinguished for now, but the probability remains high that another could ignite at any time. This is one of the primary reasons the government is working to aggressively address the problem long term. Environment Minister Romuald Ferreira is confident that the government is on track and has found the solution in one of 7 companies selected from a group of 18 in the bidding process to operate and manage the city dump. He made public those names.
And they are as follows: Apapa International Nassau Limited, Bahamas Waste, Bahamas WPT Limited, Eastern Waste Systems Limited, Marine Contractors Incorporated, Providence Advisors, and Valorisa Servicios Medioambientales S.A.
According to Minister Ferreira, those companies selected are already in receipt of their terms of reference as it relates to the job at hand, to deconstruct, remediate, and operate the sanitary landfill for at least a 10-year period.
We want somebody to come in that has the experience. It's not like cutting their teeth on our New Providence sanitary landfill. And we need them with the access to capital so that they have the kind of resources that are going to be needed to do the work and operate the landfill. And at this stage, you know, we expect well thought out proposals to come in.
The Environment Minister views this project among those primary for the government to date.
We will evaluate each proposal on its own merit, and the selection team will make a decision. So there will be no favoritism on the basis of nationality.
The most important thing of this exercise is to get this done correctly, to have the correct person in. I can't emphasize that enough. This isn't about giving anyone any kind of preferential treatment whatsoever. This is about results. We need to have the correct entity in. We look at this exercise as much more comprehensive than the last one, and which is why it took some time to put all of this together. So we're hoping to get a better outcome.
The short list of companies have until 4 p.m. April 9th this year to submit their bids, and by June 25th, the government, according to Minister Ferreira, will make its final selection. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
The Progressive Liberal Party members say they will continue to speak out against the decision made in the House of Assembly yesterday. Party leader Philip Davis made it clear that he was not happy with the actions of the Speaker or his comments.
Let me make it clear. The Speaker, by making a personal attack on the individuals I just named, has now opened the book to be attacked by those individuals on a personal basis. What is said in response to it will be fair comment. And so those individuals will be protected by our libel laws. And I expect that each and every one of them will respond appropriately. This is not about being personal. This is about public service and public policy and the way it is being discharged. For the record, remind them the PLP will continue to fight for those who voted for us and for our nation.
Free National Movement Chairman Carl Culmer issuing a statement on the suspension of the opposition from Parliament. He says it's shameful that they keep resorting to their same old smoke and mirrors even after being historically defeated last year and turned out of power. He says the people want meaningful debate and action, two things the PLP sadly refuses to engage in. He says the government will remain focused on fighting for jobs, better education, and growing the economy. The FNM chairman says it's astounding that after being thrown from office, the PLP continues to maintain the same tired and worn-out script, a political melodrama that got them voted out of office last May. Culmer says the PLP cohorts failed to assist Bahamians to obtain better for themselves during their term in office. Now brags how they disrupted the FNM government from advancing their agenda in the House of Assembly for a better Bahamas for all persons yesterday. Culmer calls it a shame.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it. This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jimenita Swain. The Bahamas is looking to borrow $90 million from the Inter-American Development Bank. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable K. Peter Turnquist, introduced the resolution to Parliament Wednesday. Those funds will address three main projects that include infrastructure upgrades to Family Island airports, climate-resilient coastal management and infrastructure, and skills to boost employability for Bahamian youth. In other business news, Fidelity Bank Bahamas Limited, via its Charity of the Quarter program, recently presented a donation to Trinity Methodist Church to assist with the organization's outreach program. Trinity offers assistance to the needy, providing clothing and food. Program Administrator Lauren Higgs said they do what they can to assist those in need, but their work would not be possible without institutions like Fidelity. Each quarter, a different charity is chosen by the bank's donation committee, and customers are encouraged to donate. Fidelity then matches the donation up to $10,000. And in international business news, stocks are sinking again today, extending a streak of losses that's yanked the market away from record highs. The Dow Jones Industrial Average slumped more than 400 points. The tumult started last Friday as investors worried about signs of rising inflation. The markets fell steadily as the day wore on and is on track for its fifth loss in 6 days. Those companies that fell the most included technologies companies that led the sector over the past year and banks. Well, that was your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jimenita Swain.
Pirates Cove Zipline and Water Park officially opened the newest tourist attraction on Grand Bahama Island, making it the only place in the islands of the Bahamas where the thrills of ziplining can be experienced. And it's off to a flying start.
It's really exhilarating and adventuresome. You know, it's exciting. You won't want anybody want to do something exciting and feel that thrill. That's what I got.
Pirates Cove Zipline and Water Park offers locals and visitors alike a theme park concept where there are approximately 15 activities to enjoy. And this newest attraction will also tell the story of the islands of the Bahamas.
Every tower will tell a story, but the zipline, we have two levels. We have a 30-foot level that takes you into the park, and we have a 50-foot level that zips you around the outer perimeter of the park. When you end the 50-foot zip line, you have to be rappelled to the ground. So you don't climb down. They put a rope on you and they drop you to the ground. That's a part of the experience.
The introduction of Bahama Zip to Grand Bahama further enhances the island's reputation as an exciting, fun destination ideal for all types of travelers, from the solo adventurer to families with kids.
Good that we have more activities now for Grand Bahamas, for our customer. I think when I have more traffic, more people coming to Grand Bahamas Island now, when we have more attraction, more time to spend, to do more attraction, more activities, and this is most important for me and for my customer.
Read more about Bahama Zip on tourismtoday.com. I'm Nakia Christie, and this is Tourism Today.
Do not give or send your PIN and passwords to anyone. Do not respond to messages asking for personal and financial information. Banks will never call or send messages asking for your private information such as your PIN, your password, your access code, credit card number, or account number. Phishing is a type of identity theft where criminals use scare tactics to bait you into giving personal and financial details. These calls, emails, or texts are not legitimate.
At first I was reluctant to change phones. I've been with the other company for so long. And you know, old folks have difficulty with this new equipment. But the number of things I've been able to do on this phone with such ease. Then the first time I switched to Live, I went into the office and I was swarmed with young persons teaching me how to do this. They were so helpful. And anytime I had any problems, I'd go by there. Yeah, Mr. Christie, what you need? And they'd take care of me. But I master this. As old as I am, I still master this. You know, it's easy to work with. I never have to leave my home to go on the street to buy a phone card. It's so easy. I buy a plan and then it auto-renews. I use my credit card. And for a person like me, I need to be run all over the place. I just sit right over and boop, boop, boop. And that's it. Alive has been a joy to work with.
Do you want strong aluminum security screens for your doors and windows? Check out Community Hardware on Market Street. They'll repair the rubber seals and holes in your window screens. Plus, Community Hardware can cut any size glass at the cheapest price. Windows can't close because operators are stuck or broken? They'll fix that. Visit Community Hardware and telephone 323-8738.
A Divine Designs 2020 Lover's Day sale is going on now. Save up to 50% off store-wide and receive an additional 20% off on beautiful interchangeable jewelry. And for every $100 spent, get $20 in iCash towards a future purchase. A Divine Design, Bay Street and Victoria Avenue. Phone 323-2900.
Call DNA Direct at 324-0665. Get a DNA test for only $398. DNA Direct, 324-0665.
For years, people was telling me this child ain't mine, but I called DNA Direct and take a test. Now I know the truth. Look here, don't get swing. Call 324-0665.
The Chan Pratt Foundation recently held its annual fundraiser at the Sapodilla restaurant. There was music and art, all with the inspiration of Chan Pratt in mind. Jimmy DeSwain has more in this week's Catching the Feeling.
It was a night of elegance and art hosted by the Chan Pratt Foundation. President and founder for the organization, DeWitt Pratt, pulled together local artists for their depiction of the Chan Pratt inspiration.
We have artists from Grand Bahama, Abaco,
and of course Nassau. And we also have some artists who are currently in school abroad in the U.S. pursuing art degrees. And so that's what I kind of want to do, is provide an opportunity for these art students to be able to make money while they're in school, to kind of help support them while they're pursuing their education and their passion. All the pieces are up for sale. What we have set up is an endowment fund at the University of the Bahamas. And so our main goal now is to provide funds for that endowment fund.
Some artists, like celebrity artist Jamal Rule, was bringing his creation to life on site throughout the evening.
The inspiration came from Poinciana tree that Chan Pratt is known for. I just wanted to do a tribute to him by doing a Poinciana tree. This is my first time doing this, along with intertwining it with some creative things.
Other familiar faces also made their contribution to the exhibition.
This piece is Owl's Hole, the famous blue hole in Freeport, and it was an experience jumping in it. I wanted to capture that emotion I felt when doing that. Another piece was one of just relaxing, having a fun day on the beach with one of my friends. It's something I experienced a lot. And the beaches in Grand Bahama are really some treasures, and I wanted to show that beauty with this piece right here.
I like to paint people who were passionate about what they did, especially people like musicians and whatnot. And I like to put them in the forefront because I think more young Bahamians need to see who their forefathers were and what they did, so that they can become inspired and passionate about the gifts that they have.
For Pratt, aside from assisting young artists, he is determined to keep the Chan Pratt legacy alive.
Part of the reason why I do what I do for him is because he isn't here, and I felt that he wasn't getting the recognition that he deserved. And so that's why I took it upon myself to make sure that his legacy isn't forgotten.
Jimenita Swain for Catching the Feeling.
On the 14th, many homes and offices will be filled with fresh flowers from red roses to lilies. These arrangements are simply exquisite and bound to brighten up your day. But as you feel the love and lose yourself in its beauty and inhaling its aroma and taking it all in, have you ever stopped and really asked yourself, where did the wonderful creations come from? In a 5-part series, Sieska Adderley will have a heart-to-heart with you, to ensure this Valentine's Day is a memorable one.
Long before that beautiful Valentine's Day floral arrangement makes it to your home or desk at work, those flowers take quite a bit of traveling. Owner of the Nassau florist, James Whitehead, says most flowers that are sold locally originate from South America in places like Ecuador and Colombia.
It always amazes me that they are picked and they are packed and transported into Miami. It's an extra journey for the flowers to get to the Bahamas, because they get into Miami, they have to be inspected by agriculture, but they arrive fresh. We get them. I think, God, these little flowers, they were picked, 5 days ago, and they still look great.
Now here's what happens to flowers once florists like Whitehead get their hands on them to work some V-Day magic.
And then, of course, when you get them, you have to take care of them, and you have to cut them, and you have to, put them in a solution and really take care of them.
Having been in the floral business for decades, Whitehead prides himself on giving customers unique, fresh creation that's, of course, centered around the flower. He also beamed about the evolution of what now goes into a Valentine's Day arrangement.
Calla lilies, orchids. I'd say tropical things would be the birds of paradise, the ginger lilies, or add some roses to it. Everything's changing. They want something different. The tradition was of roses, and it's still great. I mean, there's nothing nicer than with a beautiful wax flower, which is a filler, actually, as opposed to just the baby's breath and the thing. We try to be, a little bit ahead of the game and do something a little bit different.
He admits that as it gets closer to the 14th, it can get quite hectic filling in those last-minute orders. But Whitehead says he wouldn't have it any other way. He's hoping that those who are on the receiving end feel the love he puts into each creation that leaves his shop. But We're just getting started with our heart-to-hearts, so stay tuned because tomorrow I'll show you some goodies that can accompany the floral deliveries on Valentine's Day, and it's not your typical chocolate. Don't miss it as we hope to make your Valentine's Day memorable. Sia Scatterly, ZNS Network News.
Stay tuned. Sports and Family Island weather are up next. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
If you own a portfolio of securities within a brokerage account, like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you can access a hassle-free loan, known as a margin loan, based on the value of that portfolio. Your investment portfolio is essentially used as collateral for a cash loan. And the benefits are numerous. Simple and straightforward application, quick turnaround, a more competitive interest rate, no requirement for monthly payments. Contact us for more information on margin loans.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Be welcomed with love. Be inspired through worship. Be challenged by the Word. A place where your child is nurtured spiritually. Pastor Samuel and Lady Carmen Cornish, along with the Change family, invites you to join for a Change experience. This and every Sunday at 9 a.m. Located on Prince Charles Drive, Seagrape Shopping Plaza. For further information, contact 225-0455. Change Ministries, Nassau Campus.
Performance speaks for itself. Pennzoil Synthetics, made from natural gas. Make the switch.
Fanta, supporting the greatest expression of Bahamian culture. More than one flavor, still one family.
And it's time now for a check on temperatures around our family islands. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us live in studio with the latest. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, LaDawn. In our second look at weather, we're going to take a look at temperatures around the family islands, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 75 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, also Grand Toll Key in Abaco. Marsh Harbor at 76 degrees. In the Berry Islands, 77. Allenstown, Bimini, 76 degrees here in the capital. Mercury Column around 78 degrees. Harbor Island, 76. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 77. Stanley Key in the Exuma chain at 78. A couple more 78s in Camp Space, St. Andrews, also Fresh Creek in Central Andros. In San Salvador and Rumkey, more 78s. Even Georgetown, Exuma reporting 78 degrees. Clarencetown, Long Island, Crooked Island, and Ragged Island at 80 degrees. Ackland, 79. Betsy May, Warner, 79. Matthew Town, Inagua, 80 degrees. And the Turks and Caicos Island at 78 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the northwestern parts of our country, winds not too bad. They're going to be out of the northeast to east, around 10 to 15 knots. That put the wave heights about 2 to 4 feet. Low tide takes place at 8:27 tonight. In the central and southeastern islands, your winds are going to be out of the east 15 to 20 knots, so that caution flag is up. The wave heights very choppy at 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. And tomorrow, in the northwestern islands, winds picking up a bit out of the east, 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet with a moderate chop. The low tide at 9:23 in the morning, high tide at 3:10 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands, caution flags once again, easterly flow 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet with that caution flag remaining in place. And then we take you into Saturday for the northwestern islands. Your winds continue to rotate clockwise, becoming east to southeast, 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 5 feet with a moderate chop once again. Low tide 10:20 in the morning, high tide will take place at 4:05 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands on Saturday, east to southeast winds as well, 15 to 20 knots. No change in that caution status. Wave heights choppy at 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your travel forecast. And your travel forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Livingston, down in Livingston, I hear la la la, I hear la la la, down in Livingston, down Livingston, I hear la la la, I hear la la la, going down.
And that's going to do it for your travel forecast brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast coming up in 10.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. One of the major risk factors for developing problems with the arteries that feed the heart muscle is eating a diet rich in saturated fats. Limit how much saturated fat, trans fat, and cholesterol you eat. Only 30% of your daily calories should come from fat. Very little of that should come from saturated fats. Saturated fats are found in butter, lard, fat, fatty meat shortening, hydrogenated vegetable oils, bacon, processed meats, and dairy products like cheese and cream. Reading the labels on the foods and cooking oils we buy can help us to limit or avoid how much saturated fats and trans fats we eat. Substituting fish for red meat or taking the skin off chicken and turkey and baking your roasted meats instead of frying are also healthier alternatives. Remember, eat smart for your heart. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
My wife is all about family and saving money. And at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets, she can feed the family while saving money. A happy wife indeed. Hunt's Barbecue Sauce is 18-ounce bottle, 2 for $3. Chicken leg quarters, 89 cents per pound for the 10-pound bag. Libby's corn or sliced beets, 15-ounce can, 99 cents. Kellogg's Corn Flakes, 24-ounce box, $3.99. Sweet strawberries, 1 pound size, 2 for $5. Sunday Delight Smooth or Tiny 64-ounce bottle, $1.99. Shop with a Savers Shop, Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Looking to upgrade your refrigerator stove or purchase an affordable home generator? We've got the perfect solution for you. Thomas Welding and Fire is the best choice for the lowest prices in town. We carry top-of-the-line outdoor barbecue grills, air conditioners, refrigerators, stoves, generators, industrial hardware, and garden supplies with a wide assortment of tools and accessories. Open Monday through Saturday. Telephone 394-0004. BWF, we're more than just our name.
Move forward, Bahamas, and build high into the sky. Move upward and colorize those new walls. Move onward and build a garden to last a lifetime. Move together and settle into that new home. There's a lot of places you can do it for yourself, but there's one place to do it right. Builders Mall. We know exactly what motto you live by, and even the pros know building is just a part of what we do. So move forward, Bahamas. And remember, you can find it all at Builders Mall.
This Valentine, it's deja vu for your most beautiful you. Deja vu for your hair. 10% off live, 20% off Indian Remy, 25% off Sumatra Malaysian Remy, and 22-inch Body Wave Soprano Remy. Deja vu for your skin. 3 for $10. Top Gel, Skinbo Cream and Gel, Natural Right Cream and Gel, and more. We've even got a 50% off basket for a most beautiful you. Deja Vu. 2 locations, Market Street, 356-6981, and Carmichael Road, 698-2086.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
If you've lost your visa, call the law office of Donette Russell Love PL. My full-service immigration firm can help you if you've been denied a visa due to deportation or removal, prior conviction or arrest while in the U.S., working without work authorization, or visa overstay. I may be able to help you get your visa privileges restored. Call my office today at 954-449-1833 or visit us at drusselllove.com.
In today's world, things are constantly changing. So the one thing you can depend on to stay the same is quality, savings, and value. At Solomon's, you'll get real savings with unbeatable prices on everything your family needs. Solomon's, real quality, real savings, real value.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The New Providence Volleyball Association's best of 3 first-round playoffs spiking off last night at the Donald Davis Gym. The Lady Defenders and the Lady Techs taking to the court first. Lady Defenders winning this one in straight sets, 25-15, 25-19, and 25-20.
Unfortunately for us, it was not as difficult as it was. You really don't want to, at this stage, to play easy games like this because it really doesn't get you prepared for the championship round, which we hope to be in.
Despite how the game went, did the girls do what you want them to do tonight?
For the most part, they did, you know, except for 1 or 2 players, but I really think that they played an all-around good game.
We made a lot of errors. Our Achilles heel is serve-receive. There's a really good serving team. But we had a lot of good opportunities tonight that we just messed up on. We need to capitalize on that on the second game.
And talking about the second game, it's win or go home for the Lady Techs, as a win by the Lady Defenders sends them to the big dance.
They're basically a one-dimensional team, where they tend to go, which is okay because if you ain't stopping it, go to it. So we intend to make some adjustments and come back on the second game and hopefully be successful.
Those young ladies from Lady Tech, they really work hard, and I anticipate that they're going to go back, look at the tape, see what they did wrong, see what we did right, and make some adjustments.
Once we do our job, I think we can compete, and from competing, we should be able to get the win.
This team can win championship, even though we are undermanned. Some of our players are not here, but nevertheless, you go with who you have. Like they normally say in sports, next man, in this case, next woman up.
They have it. We just need to put 1 or 2 things together. We should be able to compete better than we did tonight. And I think if we do so, the onus can be on them, and it can make it more difficult for them, and I think that's going to result in a win for us.
Sorry. On the men's side, the same 2 clubs going at it, and the result much the same. The Defenders also pulling off a 3-set victory over the Technicians, 25-13, 25-16, and 25-9. The other half of the playoffs, they start on Friday. The Scottsdale Vixens, they open up against the Lady Warhawks. The Warhawks men follow against the National Fence Intruders. The government secondary school's best of 3 basketball championships will tip off on Monday at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. In senior boys play, the Antal Rogers Timberwolves will look to repeat as they take on the CC Sweeting Cobras. And the Timberwolves, they're still on a high after their buzzer beater against the CI Gibson Rattlers.
Give all thanks and praise to God. I have the best school in the country. I am so privileged. God blessed me with the opportunity to be the principal at Antal Rogers and to coach this wonderful team. A lot of teams were saying that, you know, CI won every game, but we stayed true to it. We're number 4 in the playoff. And last year, we dethroned the number 1 team, so this is nothing new for us. But we give thanks to God for really getting us here. We couldn't have done it without him. 1 game at a time. We know they're well coached. They've made adjustments as the season went on, and we're looking forward to a good game. Come out, it can be hot.
Like the Antal senior boys, the T.A. Thompson Scorpion junior girls also advancing to the championship with a backdoor sweep over the S.M. McPherson Sharks. Next up for T.A. Thompson now will be the H.O. Nash Lions.
We going to go back and try to work out some things according to what we've watched from H.O. Nash. That is indeed my coach, so I know she's going to come tough, but I'm just happy that the girls can get here. They are a young group of girls, which is 7th and 8th graders, so I'm just excited for them.
The Bahamas Scholastic Association continuing its regular season basketball schedule yesterday. In primary boys play, the Jordan Prince William Falcons, they soared high over Christian Heritage, 18-10. The junior boys saw a Christian Heritage rebound, a 37-28 win over Blairwood. Tamiko Hamilton had 13 points, Adrian Smith finishing up with 10. A Capron also in the win column, 70-25 over Freedom Baptist. Emmanuel Alexander, 14 points. Leonardo Pratt had 10. As for the senior boys, a Capron took care of Hope Academy, 46-39. Jaden Strawn 14 points, Stanley Farquharson with 12, Mount Carmel a winner as well, 42-23 over Pace. Michael Smith had 14 points, Sanchez Smith finishing up with 10. On to the Pro Hardwood now. Bahamians in action last night in France. Jerron Keno Burrows had 11 points. He held Province Basket to a 76-70 victory. Charleville also posting a win, 75-74. Zane Knowles had 8 points. Michael Carey Jr. finishing with 2 points. The college basketball season continuing as well last night. Shalonda Neely, 2 rebounds and a block for head coach Yolette McPhee-McQuinn and the Jacksonville Lady Dolphins. They won 61-54 over Stetson. Philip McKinsey, meantime, finishing up with 3 rebounds and a block. Houston Baptist going down to Central Arkansas, 100-80. Van Ferguson has been a part of the Farmers Key Regatta since its inception, that is. He spoke about how it all got started.
We make the Farmers Key Regatta of sailing, Gomalami boat run by Roosevelt. And after that, he asked if he could make a regatta with a C class, and he started the C class. We start the C class with maybe 4 boats up here in Farmers Key. And then it grew and grew and grew until we have maybe now like 20 boats.
And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
I plan right for the future.
I plan right for my peace of mind.
I plan right for my grandchildren.
I plan right because it's worth it.
The Family Guardian Plan Right policy is designed for persons aged 15 to 85. It requires no HIV testing or medical exam. Just answer 3 medical questions. Premiums and coverage never change. An accidental death benefit is included with no additional charge. Protect your loved one with the Family Guardian Plan Right policy.
Now, when you buy Libby's Vienna sausages and Chef Boyardee pasta products, you can enter at Pritchard's to win up to $1,000 cash or $500 gift certificates. Buy Libby's Vienna sausages and Chef Boyardee and enter today.
Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. All for you at the British Colonial Hilton. Join us for an unforgettable experience as we present the Muna Love Affair. Sunday, February 18th at 4 p.m. at the British Colonial Hilton. Reserve your tickets today at mlabahamas.eventbrite.com.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, taking a look at our satellite picture once again, we have some patchy clouds both over the southeast Bahamas and the central Bahamas. A little bit of clouds working its way into the extreme northwest Bahamas associated with a frontal system across central Florida. By the way, we don't anticipate that frontal system getting here. It will dissipate over the next day or two, leaving in place that high pressure, which will continue to generate some brisk winds over the central and southeastern islands over the next several days. Tonight, we're going in for partly cloudy conditions, remaining mild, even though the low temperature is around 72 degrees. And tomorrow, we're looking at partly sunny and a bit breezy with 1 or 2 showers possible in the afternoon. High temperature around 82 degrees. And your extended weather forecast over the next several days. A couple of showers possible tomorrow. Things looking nice and beautiful over the weekend, taking us into the middle part of next week. And as you would notice, no frontal system in sight at all. So we will have to contend with some kind of summer-like temperatures during the daytime. That's low 80s, and your nighttime temperatures, once again, we're holding them in the low 70s for you. But with the brisk winds, that will kind of keep the comfort zone at a reasonable level.
So that means it's soon to be hot again, eh, Basil?
Not very hot, but certainly, like I said, with the breeze, you wouldn't notice the difference.
Thank you so much, Basil. And coming up immediately following this newscast is Arts and Entertainment with your host, Melissa Knowles. And with that, we end the Bahamas Tonight, the national report. For all of us here at ZNS, I'm LaDawn Davis. Make it a great evening, everyone.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.